Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how I made this card. It's called a Dutch double door card, and what happens is you open this flap and then you open these little doors. I've changed a couple of things about this from the ones that I've seen on YouTube already, and one of them is I've extended the length here. In fact, I have changed the overall size of it slightly, but this length here is longer so that it doesn't match up with these doors. Can you see how that's coming past the doors? Yep, you can see that. And the reason I did that was so that when the card is standing, you can bring the little doors out and just rest it on there. I don't know how well you can get this. I will put some photographs on my blog on the day that the video is published, so that you get a better view of it. But that was one little change that I've made. There is another one which I'll explain when I get to it. Right, I'm going to do everything the same as I have here. I'm just going to switch around the Designer Series paper. Where I've got Petal Pink here, which is the main base, I'm going to use Pear Pizzazz, and where I've got Pear Pizzazz I'm going to use Petal Pink, but otherwise everything else is going to be the same. So I'm going to start off by telling you the card pieces that you need, and they are a piece of Pear Pizzazz which measures for, this is one of the first changes that I did. All the videos say that this should be 4 3/16, and I understand why, and that is because it's got to be slightly narrower than this to allow the doors to come round, but it just isn't seeming to work with me. So I'm saying across here is 4 1/8 inches. What it means is on my card I do have a slight bit that's sticking out there, but I find that I get a better result with it. If you want to try doing the 4 3/16, which seems to work with everybody except me, please go ahead. It's not going to make any difference to any of the other measurements that I give you. So that's 4 1/8 inches by 10 inches, which is 10.5 centimetres by 25.35 centimetres. Another piece of Pear Pizzazz which measures 2 inches by 8.5 inches, which is 5.1 by 19 centimetres. A piece of Whisper White which measures 4 inches by 4 inches, which is 10.2 by 10.2 centimetres. A piece of the Pear Pizzazz design from the DSP, which I've forgotten to make a note of the name, which is, this is Floral Romance, isn't it? Let me just double check that. Yes, Floral Romance Specialty, and the reason it's specialty is because there's some pattern vellum which goes with it, which I will show you in just a jiffy. So this green design is 3 7/8 inches by 3 7/8 inches, which is 9.9 by 9.9. Then you need a piece of Whisper White which measures 5 3/4 inches by 4 inches, which is 14.6 by 10.2 centimetres. And then this is one of the designs of the vellum, pattern vellum, that you get with this specialty DSP, and that should measure 14.3 by 9.9, because that's going to be layered onto there. And then you need a piece of Whisper White. In fact, you need 4 of these, and they should measure 1 7/8 inches by 2 inches, which is 4.8 by 5.1 centimetres. They're to be layered onto here, back and front. And then again the Pear Pizzazz Designer Series paper, again for the front here. These should measure 1 3/4 inches by 1 7/8 inches, which is 4.5 by 4.8 centimetres. And then you'll need some scraps of the Designer Series paper. Now on this one we are using this, it's on the reverse of that one, and this is going to be for the vase, the flowers, the teapot and the teacup. So I haven't worked out how much you need for all of that, but just suffice it to say scraps. And you will also need a piece of Whisper White so that you can do this panel here. And you will also need one piece of this is Petal Pink cardstock, and this needs to be die cut with the number 6 die from the rectangle stitched framelits. Okay, it's that one there. Start counting from the inside there. It's number 6. Yeah, because it's number 5 that I'm going to be using on the white one. So yeah, number 6. And I think that's all the card pieces that you're going to need. Let's leave that one there for a moment. And I think if we prepare the basics of the card first, which means we need to do some scoring on here, and I'm going to be using my scoreboard. If you would prefer to use your trimmer, I'm just thinking I haven't worked out the centimetres measurements on this. All I can say is, let's say this is going to be logical, isn't it? If that's 5 7/8, and that was, so that's 14.9, and if that's 2 1/8, that's going to be 5.1. Okay, panic over. I'd forgotten to take these centimetres for the score lines. Right, okay, so with the long piece, have it landscape, and you need to score this at 5 7/8, which is 14.9 centimetres. Okay, so that's 5 7/8. Now that has been calculated so that this flap will overlap the doors. And then on this one, you need to score at 2 1/8, which is 5.1, that end, turn it 180 degrees, and 2 1/8 again, that end. Okay, so that's all you need your scoreboard for. Right, so for the first bit, I'm going to fold this over and just make sure that our sides line up here and here, and make sure you get a really good crease there. And then on this one, I want to fold these in again, make sure that's folded in and lined up. Now before you fold over the second one, you need these doors to line up. So what you need to do is, if you line the doors up like that, hold them tight, and then make sure they do line up by squeezing your fold into position. Okay. Next, we are going to adhere the two pieces together. Okay, now when I did mine at 3/16 of an inch, I always found that mine was too tight here. But as I say, I will get that little bit over the edge, but I can live with that. So what you need to do is Tombow, put that over the back of this one here, and line this up, and you can judge where these should go because you can see your two score lines there really easily. So if you pop that down, just make sure it's in the centre and then stand it up so that it meets at the end there. Okay. As I say, you should be able to do that at 4 3/16. I can't, so I do 4 1/8. Right, okay, so there's that. What we need to do, if we carry on putting our card together, let's do this one first. Yes, I'm using Tombow to do all of my adhering today. No tape to be seen anywhere. There's a bit of a blob there, let's get rid of that. Oh, come on, don't mess me about. I've got a bit of tissue there. Oh, kitchen roll, not tissue. Okay, so first of all, this one goes on here. Now on top of this, we're going to adhere the vellum. And you can see glue through vellum, but I find that Tombow is excellent. And also this is a lot easier because I first of all go round and put, that's better, keep coming, just a little blob at the back of all these fresh fig flowers, so that will disguise it. And then once I've done this, I just have a look to see the overall positions of the glue because I don't want the ends sticking up, and then I will just go round and put some more glue behind leaves and places like that. Okay, so I want something up here, so it's going behind a leaf. Move along a bit. And that one came out a little bit quickly, but never mind. Okay, so I'm just putting little bits around the edges as I go down. Oh, missed that one. Put it behind a darker leaf. That's got some there, so that's okay. This is going to clog up before I want to use it again, because this isn't coming out as small as I'd like it to. But never mind. It will be fine. Obviously, most of those in the middle are going to be covered up anyway with the teapot and the cup and saucer. So let's get that centred in there. Now you have a look, see how much you can see Tombow. It won't be very much at all. Okay, so now we'll do these two which go on the top here. Shall I get rid of this, get this cleared up, otherwise it's going to slow the whole proceedings down. That's better. I think that's all right. Right, so let's do our DSP first. This one's square, so there's no trying to work out which way it goes. Unlike the little ones that we come to on the doors. That's better. Right, now we do the the white. And that goes on the outside of the flap. If you're working in sentiments, please check that I've given you the right measurements. As you know, I'm not very good with centimetres. Right, now we're going to do these little ones. I don't know whether you noticed, but I left these little ones here white so that you put your sentiment there, or you could always put some white up there, cut a fancy shape, and then put the more DSP on the inside there, whichever you like to do. Right, let's take these. We'll take two with this first. This is the one where it's not quite so easy because one side is 2 inches and one side is 1 7/8. But you'll find out which is which, and you should try and put one on top of the other. There we go, there's that one. Like most fancy fold cards, this is easy to do. It's just that, you know, the most difficult bit is to make sure that the measurements actually work with each other. There we go, and then there's these. So let's put these on the front of the doors first. You have to excuse me if I don't sound quite my normal self. Hubby's been in bed 3 days this week with a very nasty cold, and of course I've picked up the bug too. With me, it's affecting my sinuses right now, which anybody who suffers with their sinuses knows how very painful it can be. But thank goodness for a relaxing hobby like paper crafting, eh? It's a good job we don't have smelly vision yet as well, because my room absolutely reeks of albus oil. What I've done is I've got some on, I took one of hubby's hankies and I've got some on one of those. Albus oil is absolutely amazing for sinus problems. You just sit and breathe it in. Right, where's my other one gone? Oh, I lost one. Oh, here it is. I knew it was here. Okay. Oh, no, that's all right. Just a little bit coming up. But that's okay. I'm not worried about that. So there we go. That's the actual card made. I'm going to put that to one side, and now I'm going to do my stamping. So 2 stamp sets I'm using. One is Just Because, and this is a HOSTESS stamp set, which means you can buy this if you put in an order of £150 or I was going to say how much in euros, I've forgotten, sorry. And then you can buy this, or if you have host a party or something. And this is the one that I'm using. It says, "I am what I am because of you," which I think is absolutely gorgeous and absolutely spot on for a Mother's Day card. and the other set I'm using is Tea Together. So I'm using the teapot, the cup and saucer, Happy Mother's Day, and that little one there as well. So let's do this one first. Let's bring that down so you can see what I'm pointing to. We do this one first. Is that... no, it's a bit too close. Right. So I'm going to be using Stays On ink for this. Just pop that in the centre somewhere. Lovely. And I've done paper piecing for my vase there. So I just need to stamp the vase part onto a piece of DSP. So this is one of the scraps. Okay, so that's very easy bit of fussy cutting I need to do. So I've finished with that, and the teapot. Will it fit onto that one? Yes. Now for the teapot and the teacup I used basic grey. I just feel that the grey is a bit softer than black, and I'm not colouring, so I don't need it to be black. Where you get, when you get this stamp set, you get that bit of rubber in the middle. Don't throw it away, because you can use that as a, like a background stamp. So that's pretty, I like that. So that one's done. And the cup and saucer, not enough room there. Nope, let's find another piece. That's more narrow, let's see. Yep, we'll have that one. Again, this one's in grey. And again, there's another bit of rubber that you get for that one. There's that. Now this says Happy Mother's Day, and I'm going to stamp it right in the middle there. Just going to see how far down I can bring this. That should be fine. Excuse me if I get my head in the way. Oh, there we go. It's good, happy with that. Now with the flowers, I am going to be doing a bit of colouring. And I've already done, oh no, I need black, don't I? I've already done 2 of the flowers. I need 3. So I'll do one with you. This is a cheat's way of colouring flowers and things. This is almost like paper piecing. So what I do on here with the colouring, I use my Pear Pizzazz marker pen. Just colour them in. And first time it doesn't go very dark. So I go over it 2 or 3 times until it does come up really dark. I don't want to use Mossy Meadow, which I could, because I just think that might come up a bit too dark. Okay, so just keep going over it. I'm not going to keep going over it now, it's just taking up time. I've actually got, I think I did 4 of them. Yeah, I did. So they're all ready. I will die cut it, but then I can finish it later. So that and that. What else do I need? I've done that, and I think I've done everything, haven't I? No colouring to be done. Oh, apart from this. So let me just colour the leaves in. And on this one, I don't worry about trying to go too dark. I like Pear Pizzazz because it's a true green without being too dark. On the flowers on the first card that I showed you, I used, what did I use? Oh, here we go. I used these frosted flower embellishments as my flowers, and then these are petal pink, and in the middle of each of them I put a little rhinestone. I don't know whether they're going to hold because there's a dip in the flower, but I am watching that because I might have to redo them and use Tombow to adhere them in. But I'm going to use something different for the video card. Something that I bought quite some time ago but never got round to using them. But they are very pretty. See, absolute minimal colouring with this card. Little bits of white here and there. There we go. Any others and I'll finish them off later. Right, so this is fussy cutting. Let's do this one. One of the easiest bits of fussy cutting you'll ever do. Just keep to the outside as far as possible. Oops. Now I have left a little bit of pink showing through there, and I'll show you how I get that covered up. Okay, so I've got some pink just on the edge there, and I use my black marker pen, making sure that the brush end is at the back of my work, and then I just run it along like that to cover up any white bits. I personally like to go all around because you do finish up with a white ridge. And seeing as how you're topping up any bits that may be showing white, you might as well be doing that as well. But as I say, do make sure you keep the brush south of your work. So there's that. Tombow. Oops. Went over the edge there. Right, so just pop that on there. Okay, I'm going to fold that bit up, otherwise I'll get it all over everywhere if I haven't already. Okay, so that's die cutting. That's die cutting, that's die cutting, and that's die cutting. So I think that's about it then, isn't it? So let's bring my big shot up. Right. So we get the tea time dies, which are here. Okay, these are currently available as a level 2 celebration item. So I need that, that and that. Okay, so that's what they die cut. That's the one that we're using. But it's got little leaves, and that, which is a stamp as well in the set, which I can't see what I've done with. But it's a great set. Right, have that one first for the cup. And see how this has come up really gentle with the grey? Much nicer than being harsh with the black. Let's push it up a little bit. Right, now the teapot. Oh, I need that. Oh, that is the one that I got, isn't it? Let's cut that a little bit off. Now I can squeeze it in somewhere. That's it. I think that's okay. And last one here. So this one does tend to jump about a bit because it's so small. So just make sure you take your paper to the die. Don't try making the die go where you want it to. You're fighting a losing battle. Okay, so let's just crank these through. There we go. Okay, so 1 cup, that's all set. One flower. One teapot. I'll clear that out later. And then I just need this one. And what did I do with the die for this? Did I bring it over? I don't think so. No, I didn't. There we go. Then centre that and make sure it's all nice and straight as well. I think that is. I get the top cutting mat. And that's all we need the big shot for. So now, if I got my sizes right, yes, that's good. So, where's my card? So we can start putting everything together now. Now, where's my flowers? And I did have a little 1/8 of an inch silver dot here, which I seem to have lost somehow. Never mind, I'll do that after the video is finished. I'll show you what I mean. Right, I'm going to put the cup on first, because that is going to be positioned within the doors, and then once that's in place it's easy to work out where to put the teapot. And again, Tombow. If you don't like the stamping in grey, you think it's too soft, obviously you go for black. We don't all have the same likes and dislikes, so it's okay. Right, now the teapot. I don't normally do anything popped up inside my cards. This is an exception because when this comes down, it's obviously got a gap in there anyway. So the flower that I put on here, I put on with dimensionals. I've got to be careful, one of these hasn't been coloured properly, has it? I think it's that one. That's okay. Yep, they're alright. So I want dimensionals on those three. No, not that one. Oh, I brought my punch. Oops, sorry. I brought my punch over with me. I wonder if I've still got my silver paper here. There we go. Yes, I can see it. There we go. I can punch myself another silver bit. Okay, one large dimensional on the back of all of these. Bring my little bucket over. And this is going to go in the middle of my teapot. I'm having one each of these on the door, and the position of them was... Come on, stop messing about. Oh, that's right, I know. I was going to say it wasn't that high. No, it was positioned with this in mind. So let's do this. I positioned this first, and then I made it so that the flowers are off to the side like that. So I'm going to put this bit on next. I thought I'd done something really bad then, really wrong. There we go. Now what I did was I put that like that, and then I positioned it so that if this was one complete layer, this is in the centre, so I've got the same sort of gap there and there. That's the same as that one there. And then what I did was I had a look at the bottom here, like there. As I turned it over, that told me how far down I could bring Tombow. I went up a bit higher than my finger just to be on the safe side. Okay, so close the door again, move that out of the way. Right, now position this just about where you think you had it before. Yep, I think that's okay. Make sure there's no glue there. No, that's right. So, yep, I'm happy with that. Now I can position this. Now this can go over my flower, I don't mind that, but I want to be able to put a gem. And I used rhinestones on the other one, but this one I'm going to use pearls just to be different. Okay, so I am in the screen, aren't I? Yeah. So if I put it there, I've got plenty of room to put my pearl on there. The other thought that you could do is you could position these so that you could tuck that underneath there to keep it closed. With the position of mine, this is too rigid to be able to get it under there without bending, but if I'd brought it further back I would have thought that I could have done it. Just something you may like to think about. As I say, I haven't tried it, so whether it would work or not I don't know, but I don't see why it wouldn't work. Right, where's my pearls? Here. And my paper piercer. So what size? Oh, it looks as if I've only got large or small here. Is that all I've got? Okay, let's try large then. Oh yeah, that's okay. I'm happy with that. Okay, now because this one doesn't have anything on here, what I did was I just punched a piece of silver foil, and I used my crocodile, trying to think what we call it, and it's a 1/8 inch. Oop, she says, punching her finger as well. Okay, so there's that, and just a little bit of Tombow, bit more than that, that's it. Oops. Oh, there you go. Oh, come on. There we go. If I was sending this card through the post, what I would do is I would put a sheet of bubble wrap over the front here to make sure that it travelled safely. Right, what else do I need to do? Oh, it's the flowers. Right, the flowers I'm using for this are these little blossom elements. They come in 3 colours: Petal Pink, which is the colour we're using, Calypso Coral and So Saffron. Okay, so that's Calypso Coral, that's So Saffron, and that's Petal Pink, and I want 3 of these. With these on, I would definitely put bubble wrap over the top. And I am going to adhere them with Tombow. That's a bit too much. Let me get my scrap here. I know, let's take some glue off of that bit that I've dabbed on there. Yep, that should be good. Put one there. There's not enough left for this one. Come on, not too much this time, please. Oh, that's it, lovely. Ideal. Okay, we'll put one there. Okay, lots of dimension on those. It could be a Marmite thing, as in you either love them or hate them, but I think they're pretty. Right, so, and ribbon, just the last thing. Just double check here. Yep. So the ribbon I'm using is this gorgeous ribbon. This was the first time I used it on this card. And it is absolutely superb. It's got a funny feel to it. Really very, very soft. And it reminds me very much of seam binding. But it behaves better. I don't know if any of you used to use seam binding or if you still use seam binding, but I found that it was easy to just pull and get that like separating, if you like. Don't know what terminology to use, but so far so good with this one. Okay, and this is in the spring summer catalogue. So tie that in a bow. Try not to knock the flowers off in the process. I haven't done that very well, have I? Which side is the long one? Don't know, because I've just pulled them both. One of them was too short. Hopefully I've got it right this time. Looks like it. I think one of the secrets of tying decent bows is not letting your ribbon fold. Obviously it has to eventually when you've got like this, but as you fold the two pieces over, you line them up, just keep them flat. This is just so gorgeously soft, it really is lovely. Right, just have nice little folds here. There we go, that's good, quite happy with that. And when the ribbon is as wide as this, what I do is I fold it and then use my scissors just to cut off at an angle that way. Not too sharp because it looks a bit silly, but you finish up with a fishtail. I always have to stop and think about this because quite often I finish up with a point rather than the fishtail. Okay, so fold it. If you're right-handed, have the fold towards your right hand. Right. And then cut. Oops. Like that. Not quite short enough, was it? Let's just do that one more. If it's still not right, then I'll finish it off camera. There we go. There we go. So that's today's project. A lovely fancy fold, and like most of them that I show you, easy to do. Okay, so in fact that bone needs to be a bit smaller, but as I say, I'll finish that off camera, and you will be able to see what it looks like on my blog on the day that I publish the video. We'll take all my photographs and everything so that you can see. But again, I've changed my colour scheme round. Which one do you prefer? And I've changed my flowers. what do you prefer there. So there we go. Many thanks for joining me today. If you have any questions or any comments to make, please leave them in the box below the video. I will be putting in there all the measurements and all the products that I've used and where to do the score lines. And there'll also be a link to my 24/7 online Stampin' Up shop. So if you want to purchase anything here, all the details will be below. If you've enjoyed my video and like to be notified each time I upload a new one, please click the subscribe button, which you will see in the bottom right hand corner. And then you'll get an option to click on a bell as well, and that will say that you're given permission for email notification to come through. Many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, cheerio.